Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to episode 0 of our series called Youth Strong. I'm so happy to have everyone here today. Well, at least virtually. You're not here in real life, but you're here online, and that's what counts. Inshallah, this episode will serve as a pilot episode where we can try out new things and let you guys know who we are and what we're trying to do and how you can be part of this program. So first of all, we're called Youth Strong. What does this mean to you guys?
So it basically means that we're trying to empower the youth through our perspectives and inform them on different topics that otherwise wouldn't be talked about, and bring into their minds like a different perspective, giving them a more open-minded view on different opinions and such.
Thank you, Munir. By the way, I should probably start with our names. So my name is Akil Khan. I work here at Al Rashid as part of the team behind Virtual Mosque. And alhamdulillah, with me, I have some awesome volunteers, 2 of which are with me right now. And there's many more behind the camera, on the computer, lots doing research. My man on the far is Munir, and next to me is Sahel, all right? Tell me a bit about yourselves before we get into the program, actually.
So my name is Munir. I'm going to political science, minor in economics, play basketball, So I don't know, I'm looking forward to hearing you guys' comments, talking about different views, political, maybe sports, anything. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting to know our viewers and developing the podcast or the talk show.
Sahel?
My name is Sahel. I'm a writer, I guess. That sounds pretentious, but I'm going to go with that. And I'm considering school and not sure where I want to go, which we may discuss one day.
Awesome. And I think it's important for us as a community to get to know local talents. Like these 2 young men, they volunteer a lot and they come out to many events and they put in that work that needs to be done in order to serve our community, right? And I'm very happy to have them on the platform here today so that they can share their perspectives and tell us a bit about themselves. But they're not the only ones in our community that put in the work. They're not the only ones that have a story to share. I'm sure many of you out there have a story to share, or some topics you want to discuss with the others, or the community at large, or things that you want to bring into light. And that's really, really why we want to be Youth Strong. We want to empower you and get your stories on the platform. So this is mainly like the objective or the vision behind this show is for us to get local talents, local experts, people that are active, to give them a platform in order for them to broadcast and share their stories. You will see out through this episode, we will explain some segments in which you can apply or get your idea to us so that we may help empower you. You'll see in the scroller or in the description an email address, virtual@alrashidmosque.ca. That is our key point of contact. If you are a speaker and you want to get to us, virtual@alrashidmosque.ca. If you're a talent, a creative, an artist, like one that made this, or a spoken word poet, and you want to get to us, contact us at virtual@alrashidmosque.ca. If you are a business and you would like to sponsor or be featured, especially if you're like a local and up and coming, we'd love to support you. So contact us at virtual@alrashidmosque.ca. We're here for you. We're accessible, and we intend to give it our all when it comes to promoting these local talents, right? As young guys in the community, do you think it's important for us to keep pushing and supporting these local artists and local creatives and local activists?
Yep. Right now, it's a tough time, I guess, in the world. And because of this, it's very hard for people to find businesses, even in larger chains and such. So for local talented people who are trying to come up, it's very hard. And it's important for us to empower each other and provide a platform for people to find their voice and a place for them to express themselves as much as they want or can. And it's not necessarily just artistic, it could be cosmetic, it could be technical, it doesn't really matter. It's just, a space. It's important.
And we'd love to showcase your talents. Munir.
Yeah, for sure. I think it just goes back to our goals of what we're trying to do here, which is inform and empower. So we're trying to inform our community about the youth and the people who are talented within our community. And we also want to encourage those people to come up, show their talents, a lot of people think, oh, I need to go to school and have this kind of one point of view mindset, and they can have side hobbies or side talents that despite they're really good at, they don't have the platform to share their knowledge or their talents with the world, or I guess with the community, and just develop themselves on that another kind of level. So I think that's what we're trying to do here, trying to give them that platform to develop themselves as well and empower themselves.
Yeah, right. So now, not only like are they having an opportunity to showcase their talents, but like I think you really said an important point. They're inspiring others to showcase their talents, right?
Sure,
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, if like we run this show for a season, and then the next season, many people in the community are like capable of taking this to the next level, and they have ideas, and they can pursue the next level. We're all for that, right? So speaking about the show itself, what are we? We're one episode per week, and we work within the virtual mosque. Every Tuesday, inshallah, 8 o'clock, we'll try and keep consistent, and we'll broadcast on a weekly basis specific topics. Do you guys know what the topic for next week is?
For next week, we're going to be talking about education. So with these topics weekly, we'll have professionals or someone who specializes in that field to kind of come in and talk about, basically just talk about the topic and give their view on it and give like a general kind of basis. But I think our main thing here is that we want to hear from you guys. So if you guys want to send us your stories on your emails or just quick comments or questions or whatever you guys may have that you want us to talk about, I think that goes back to our transparency with this and the audience. That we want it to be a one-to-one relationship. So we're able to communicate to you directly without being with you. And again, that's just what we're trying to do. And yeah, so.
Yeah. So with education, you know, it's a little complicated, and it's also sometimes a controversial topic. So we'd like you guys to send, you know, questions or things that you might want us to discuss, so that we don't have a limited scope in what we try to develop or talk about. And yeah.
Yeah, you can send it in at virtual@alrashidmosque.ca, right?
Yes.
So when we have that specific topic, that niche topic of education, as Sahil was saying, is very nuanced. And if we approach it and we have our guest speakers come in, we'd like to have questions prepped ahead of time for them. So that means from today to next Tuesday is an entire week where we'll be accepting emails based on the topic for education. Specifically, we're looking at how young adults considering post-secondary education should like approach that situation. What should be the questions they're asking? What are like things that should be on your mind as a young adult? So send in questions you would like for us to have these experts within that field to answer. And also, that's just one specific topic for one episode. We'll have many different episodes, inshallah, right? So we need you guys to also provide us with ideas. What are topics you want to see in future episodes? Or perhaps the other way around, you know an expert, you know a professional, you know an activist, you know a person that really needs a platform. Go ahead and email us. We'll contact them and we'll put them on this platform so that they can share their expertise within that within that field, right?
Sure.
And also, we're not only like limited to topics within just the scope of education or academia. What are like some wild topics we might have in the future?
I mean, basically, I think we're just very open with anything you could have. So if you guys want to talk politics or you guys have a specific, movement that's coming up or that you guys want to talk about, or we had like an activist who has like a very controversial or not a topic that's not very spoken about, I think we're pretty open to the ideas of our viewers.
Yeah, right. So environmentalism is another huge field we can cover. Racism is another thing that definitely we plan on, inshallah, addressing in the near future. Just within the realm of this podcast. There's other shows going on. Like yesterday we had the Islam in Depth series. Inshallah, we'll have a Newcomers to Islam series. We'll have a multi-language series within the Al Rashid Mosque. But within this show, Youth Strong, we want to address it and direct it in a manner specific towards the young individuals out there, the young adults, the young kids, and those with like lots of energy, lots of passion, right? That's just one segment per episode, by the way. So within an episode, say it runs for an hour, we'll have the guest speaker for a solid, perhaps maybe 40 minutes or whatever they're comfortable with. Within the other segments of that episode, we'd like to touch on various other things. For example, we're proposing a section called Featuring Talents. What's that about, Sahar?
So in the community, you always have people who creatively or in other
Louder.
means. Yes, they basically have different talents. Maybe they are very good at painting. Maybe they're very good at singing. And by featuring talents, we want to basically just give someone a moment to just shine, essentially, and give them a platform to like express themselves and to reach out to more people so that they can have more traction and success in the future. So whatever you have, if you make sculptures,
Yeah.
if you
That'd be
rap
great.
in Chinese, anything,
Yeah.
just email us at virtual@alshidmosque.ca, and we'll give
We'll
you.
be more than happy to feature.
Yeah, I'll be more than happy.
For example, this painting right here, it is not a set. It is not a prop set. It's here intentionally because it was from a local artist and they're trying to help out the community. So what's their story and how did they paint this and how can we as a community support them? Because when we're looking at this project, we really, really want to approach it from a grassroots perspective. Meaning, well, what does it mean actually?
I think it's just meaning like there's so much behind the scenes that you don't see. Like for example, just basketball that I know. You may see like a great player like LeBron James go in and just completely dominate a game, but you don't see the hours he put in when no one watches. There's a famous quote saying, you have to outwork thousands in front of no one to anyways, it's basically saying that in front of nobody, you're gonna have to work harder to show that in front of everyone how good you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we would like to put the spotlight on those people
Yeah,
behind the
for sure.
scenes.
So and talk about like their story, how they got here, their struggles.
Yeah. This is a platform by youth for youth. Very cheesy line, but very true line, right? Also, this isn't meant to be just a talk show or a podcast or anything of that like. We want to be very, very interactive. We want to get your live comments coming in. We also want to have contests with you guys because that's always fun. Can you tell me what Kahoot is? How does that work?
Well, essentially, we create questions and put them into the Kahoot system. And what happens is multiple people can play on the same platform. And we have various multiple choice questions that there's a timer, like 30 seconds, and you choose which is the right question. And there's a bunch of scores and points and stuff, and whoever gets to the top gets to the top. It's
Right.
very competitive, especially in school environments.
Okay.
It stalks your reputation.
Oh my God, say it. Did we have the graphics on screen when we were talking about your business could be here?
No, not yet.
All right, let's put up that graphic. Your business could be here. See, so pay attention to how, we're adapting, we're learning. Like today is our first day running with multiple audio setups, and then we're gonna run with better graphics, and then perhaps we're gonna have more stage props. Inshallah, we're looking to grow, and we're steadily improving. So right now, I'm assuming you guys are seeing this graphic on screen that says your business could be here. So imagine that, a local person, perhaps they have an Instagram page. What's the Instagram page you have up right now, my friend?
Beauty of Barakah.
Beauty of Barakah. So this person, mashallah, they were a sponsor for a gift giveaway within the Sponsoring Orphans Worldwide virtual art auction, which happened on this platform just a few weeks ago, right? So that person reached out to us and they said they wanted to help. And alhamdulillah, I'm so happy that they reached out to us. I want to feature their art more and more often, right? You're gonna have to take the entire camera off the tripod, my friend, because the thingy just popped out. Okay, so that person, I want to get we as a team here appreciate their help so much that we want to promote them and have them get the recognition they deserve because they are local talent. They helped us out when we needed help, so it's only correct and right for us to help them back. But there's also lots of other local talent out there. There's a page you guys might see floating around right now called Movement, right? They're featuring lots of local talent. So if we can support that person with their cause. Then there's also other programs happening in the community. So say, for example, there's a food drive happening. Like you set up a food drive as an individual. We would love to feature you and hear your story. And how did you set up this food drive? What did you have? What was the thought process behind this? right? Because I know like the bottle drive that happened just in the start of the pandemic was done by a 12-year-old girl, right? And alhamdulillah, that raised over 16,000. Right? So having and supporting those local talents would be great. So that's featuring your business, and I'm featuring you as an activist. And what else do we have? Featuring you as a talent. All right. So there are many opportunities we're trying to create for you as a young individual to get on board. But let's talk about getting on board or just getting into the actual action behind the scenes. What motivates you as Munir and you as Sahel to come out to this particular project?
You know, I think it's more about giving people a broader perspective and giving them a platform to have their voice. You know, there's a lot of, I guess, we have a lot of these shows, and yes, despite how much you could interact in the comments, there's not really one where you could come up and show what you can do. And I think that's just what we're trying to do. And you know, as you were saying, just advertise our local businesses, our local talents. You know, these mom and pop shops, despite, I mean, these large corporations are taking over, and you know, there's just certain like qualities and I guess customer service that mom and pop shops just provide, and they're so into the community that you want to support them, and a lot of people don't know about them. So I think, you know, by trying to advertise them and show them, and even just local talent and local businesses, maybe you're really good photography and you come on here and show some pictures and you could get hired. You know, it's just about getting yourself out there and pushing yourself. And I think that's kind of what motivated me to do this. And also, like, with the topics that we're talking about, you know, a lot of people have a one set in mind on most of the topics. So for example, education. We go, you know, our thing is, oh, graduate high school, go to university, get a job. Yeah. But there's so many different ways how to get a job. I mean, maybe you take a year off, which is very uncommon in our community. So I don't know, I think mostly I want to bring a different perspective to the youth, and you know, that to show them that there's different ways to achieve goals.
And building that infrastructure. So like you really want to be part about building the infrastructure to support that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Sahel, so like what motivates you to be like an active person within the community?
I think for me it's like discovery. Like essentially growing up, there was a sort of black and white view of things where it was like, this is correct and this is wrong. And then as you get older, you start having more gray, and you start seeing that like there's different like people, there's different perspectives, there's different like ways that you can look at the world. And I always try to strive to like discover more. And like when it comes to writing, narratively, there's a structure to writing, but like the ideas are like timeless and they can change based off of different factors. And looking at like different talents and stuff, it's not just like, oh yeah, I can sing. It's like I can sing, and the reason I sing is because X, Y, Z, and there's like a reason and story behind that. And I really like discovering like different stories and different ideas, and like that's my main motivation. I love looking at like the stories that you can find in the world, and like it creates this giant tapestry of like a world history or world story, you know, that like is happening in real time in a way that everyone's kind of striving to like achieve something as small as like, you know, getting on stage one day to even just raising a family. It's still all like this giant story that we're all a part of. And yeah, that's my motivation.
Awesome. And you know, like, I think this is an awesome opportunity for us to dispel that phrase, Edmonton, Deadmonton, right? Yeah. Because Edmonton is rich with people that are talented. Edmonton has lots of Muslims that do many things within the Muslim community and beyond, right? Edmonton has lots of people that are worth showcasing, right? And I think, we as a team believe, I know for a fact, that if we just start and create a platform, many, many people will start benefiting from it, right? Was there ever an individual like within the community here that inspired you, that like, you know they're not like big on social media, you know they're not well known of, but they personally affected you?
I think Omar Farah, I mean the poet.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he's pretty popular.
Yeah, he's pretty popular. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
MashaAllah, by the way.
MashaAllah.
He's my homie. I've known him for like over 10 years. So I'm not trying to. But yeah, alhamdulillah. So like, imagine how many more people could be as well known as our brother Omar, right? What else? Sahel,
I mean, I'd say that
speak up, please.
there's a lot of different people who have like inspired me or like helped me along. I mean, especially like teachers. I've had a lot of different teachers who like initially I had a specific idea of like how you should learn or like how education should be, and then they kind of dispelled that and they were like, okay, we're actually gonna have fun while we learn, and it just like changed my perspective. And the thing is, there's a lot of different teachers. I can't really name one, but yeah, educators, I guess. Yeah.
I see. So, ultimately, to conclude this segment or this pilot episode 0, we'd just like to let you guys know that we are here for you. We're looking at our emails, we're looking at our Instagram, Facebook, what have you, and taking your feedback. We want you to extend your voice to us, and we want to support your voice. We're good. We as a team will try our best to be transparent in how we approach the topic. So, for example, next week our speakers will be talking about education, right? We want you guys to send in those questions ahead of time, but we will also answer some questions. And even like we'll put out Instagram stories and thing on Facebook stories showing our thought process behind how we came up with this. So, for example, I'll tell you right now, if our guest speakers they come in and they're like, just hypothetically speaking, they're pro-university. They're saying like, you need to go to university, get a degree, or you're completely wrong. You can expect us to challenge them and say, what about these successful high school dropouts? What about these successful university dropouts? What about the whole entrepreneurial spirit, right? We want to bring those multiple perspectives, and we want to represent you. Before we conclude, do my fellow peers, I guess, have any closing thoughts?
No, I think we basically covered all. You know, our goal is just to inform and empower and educate our community and our youth, and you know, just give them a platform to come up and showcase themselves and their talents.
And yeah, like don't be scared, you know? I mean, you don't have to be like Picasso level artist or anything. If you just want to show a little bit of something that you're working on or whatever, you just do it. It's okay.
Sure. Even if that's like just an email or like your story in the email.
Anything.
You know, anything's like we could talk about.
We should elaborate on that a bit. So we inshallah, we would love to have you guys in set for you to showcase like your art and tell us the backstory behind it. But if you're not comfortable with doing that, we're more than happy for you to like write your email, and then at the end of that segment, we can read it out. Or you can pre-record a video and we'll run that within the show, right? We'll do our best to accommodate you. And remember, the email is virtual@alrashidmosque.ca. Send in your requests, your talents, people that you think should represent. Like even if, like say for example, you're friends with Munir and you think he should be in the spotlight, but he's too shy, you could send in an email and tell us, hey, give a shout out to Munir, right? So thank you for tuning in today. This was episode 0. It was just to explain the structure behind it. Inshallah, we'll get into the real deep topics starting in episode 1 next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.